9 signs you have a bad relationship with food. Eat the foods that make you feel physically and psychologically well if you'd like your relationship with food to be a healthy one. Good relationships with food mean that no foods are off limit. And you don't feel guilty about eating things that are typically considered bad or unhealthy. Making friends with food isn't something you can do in a day or two. You'll be constantly working on your relationship with food and yourself for the rest of your life. Just like any other significant individual in our lives that we need to work closely with each day, such as partners, friends or family members, this will require time and patience from both parties involved. This short video explores what it suggests, how to have an excellent relationship with food. This video will provide tips and pointers to get you on your journey. You will want to stay until the end to see if you have a good relationship with food and how to get one. First, it's important to understand your relationship with food. It's unfortunate, but many people have a negative relationship with food. It's not easy to establish the symptoms and signs of this bad relationship because it manifests differently in every person. There are some commonalities that may point you towards such an issue. For example, if your diet is restrictive or obsessive. If all foods make you anxious, or if eating feels like torture, or when approaching meal time takes up too much mental energy. If any of this sounds familiar, then chances are good that something needs to change. A great relationship with food starts within oneself. Understanding what motivates us as individuals will help provide insight into our own personal truths about ourselves, and eventually allow us control over how we choose which foods best suit who we want to be. The idea is that we are comfortable with whatever food we choose to eat. Improving your connection with food will result in reduced tension and anxiety when it comes to mealtimes and eating in general. Here are 9 indications of a bad relationship with food. 1. You feel guilty about eating. 2. You prevent or limit foods that are bad for you. 3. You have established a long list of guidelines surrounding the foods you can and cannot eat. 4. When you're done eating for the day, you add up your calories with a calorie counter apps to inform you. 5. You disregard your body's natural cravings hints. 6. You having a history of dieting yo-yo or adhering to the latest diet plan fads. 7. When eating in social settings you worry of what others might believe of your food options, you feel enormous tension and stress and anxiety. 8. You discover yourself binging and or limiting food. 9. Having a poor connection with food does not mean you will experience all of these signs and symptoms. In this time of social media and healthy living trends, it can be hard to keep up with others. But if you ever find yourself feeling any type of negative feelings for the food that you eat, or your eating habits in general, it might just be a sign that something is wrong. While feeling guilty after eating certain meals isn't ideal, it's not uncommon. Sometimes you will have complete liberty to eat whatever without any regret for the food that you ate. And this is wonderful, however sometimes your relationship with food can be short-term. You are more than the sum of your food choices. It doesn't stop there. You need to be taking care to have a healthy relationship with yourself, and that includes practicing self-compassion when it comes to eating, as well as other aspects in life such as relationships or work. It's all about the effort. Relationships can be complicated, and it takes a lot of work to maintain them. So much more than we first thought. But with an excellent relationship, you'll know that your efforts were worth it in every way possible. It might not come as easy for some people. But if there is anything worthwhile in life, then this is surely one thing worthy enough to try out. People often eat for many reasons, not just to sustain their body. For example, people may enjoy the taste of food, have a cultural obligation or custom that necessitates eating at certain times of day, such as Ramadan fasting during the month of Muslim worship called Ramadan, or not eating certain food during Lent in the Christian faith. People are complicated beings with lots going on internally and externally. So it makes sense that they might want to satisfy some cravings by using food rather than alcohol or drugs, which can be both dangerous and illegal depending on one's age. When you start to recognize the value of food, not just as something that fuels your body, but also nourishes it and brings people together for fun occasions like Thanksgiving or a Sunday dinner with family. You can begin to see some of the complexities of the relationship. Indications of an excellent relationship with food consist of 1. Give yourself freedom to enjoy the foods you like. 2. You listen and appreciate your body's natural appetite hints. When you're starving and stop when you're complete, you eat. No foods are off limits. 3. You do not stress on what the scale says. 4. You do not let the viewpoints of others determine which foods you choose to eat. 5. You do not feel the requirement to validate your food options. 6. The things you eat do not define you as a person, and you realize that. 7. You delight in all food in small amounts. 8. You select foods that are good for you and make you feel good. 9. When it comes to food, calories aren't the main concern. Seeing this list and thinking, I can never do this is not uncommon. Letting go of the diet plan attitude and diet plan cultural messages that you've been getting for decades is difficult for many individuals. To avoid being overwhelmed, focus on doing one task at a time at a pace that suits you. Remember, Rome was not built in a day, and neither will a strong and healthy relationship with food. One thing to remember is that feeling guilty and being hard on yourself is never going to help with establishing the healthy relationship with food you are wanting. Since food is such a large part of our life, part of having a good relationship with it is learning to have a good relationship with yourself. Learn to forgive yourself. Learn to have the mindset of moving forward and not berating yourself because you ate that piece of cheesecake. This moving forward mindset is important with not only food, but in so many other parts of your life. Thank you for watching to the end. I hope this video was helpful and provoked some thought. Down in the comments section, tell us what your favorite food is and how it makes you feel when you eat it. Please subscribe to this channel and like this video. We are always working on bringing you tips and information on how to have a healthier lifestyle as it relates to food. Thank you for watching.